Hey everybody, Teddy here, Bleed and Simple, back at you with kind of review. I'm not gonna be chopping with this, or feather sticking, or batoning, or doing anything like that. A couple reasons. Number one, I really don't want to right now, and number two, it's about 10 o'clock at night. Can't sleep. Had this on my mind. I was wondering, what am I going to say about this? Just had to get it out. You know, sometimes you just have those days where you just can't hold on to it. You just got to speak your mind. And of course, the water heater goes on. Go figure. Anyway, ignore that. What I'm talking about is this. The Crkt, Columbia River Knife Company, well, Ken Onion designed Half a Chance. It's also the chance in hell. Now, after this, you can decide for yourself what you think, but it's either going to be epic success or epic failure. I'm certain on which side I'm leaning towards, and I'm going to tell you why. I mentioned that I want to do a big blade extravaganza. This won't be in it. When the weather gets nicer outside, which it should be soon, I'm going to get out in the back and I'm going to do some videos in the back, some chopping, batoning, etc. outside, where I can really use some of these big blades. So until then, you're gonna get this. So before I get into that, let's talk about this. This is a G.A.R. It's by George A Rico. If that name sounds familiar, he did a lot of work for Gran Habano, so awesome smoke. This is what they call their Gran Console. It's a 6x60. Medium to full, more on the fuller side. Wrapper, it's an Ecuadorian Corojo wrapper, an Ecuadorian Corojo binder, Nicaraguan filler. Really nice, thick, velvety wrapper. Good construction, nice, sturdy construction, open draw. Nice, really creamy smoke. Flavor profile, a bit of black pepper, cedar, leather, and graham cracker, I want to say. Really nice sweet finish. Great tasting cigar. It is 10 o'clock at night, so it's happy hour. And since I'm not going to be cutting anything, that's okay. Anywho, let's get into this. Now, first off the bat, before I even start bringing this out, going through specs with you guys and talking about it, I was so excited to get my hands on this. Ken Onion Designs, I love the flow of his design. Very sleek, sexy designs. So I was when I heard Ken Onion inspired design, I'm like, yeah, I gotta check that out for myself. Bought it, brought it home, sat on it for a little while, opened the packaging, and immediately had regret. Okay, so let me give you some specs on this. Overall weight is 1 pound 4.4 ounces. Blade length from 14 inches. Thickness 0.01 thick, really thin. Overall length 19.6 inches overall length. It's a TPR over molded material with a faux pigskin texturing. So you can see that right there. It has these through hole pins all the way along. Blade steel is 65 Mn carbon steel. Now what's 65 Mn? Okay, without getting too deep into blade metallurgy, I'm going to break it down. 65 Mn is basically a mixture of carbon, chromium, manganese, phosphorus, sulfur, and some other stuff. Phosphorus and sulfur are usually added during the forging process. Manganese aids in grain structure, hardening, strength, and wear resistance. You know what carbon is, you know what chromium does, so I don't have to get too in depth with that for you. But this makeup is basically a Chinese low carbon steel. Okay. Rockwell hardness is between 52 to 56. Now, a lot of you guys that are stuck on this Rockwell hardness scale, well, no, I have to have a really high Rockwell. For a machete or chopper, you don't want too high of a Rockwell hardness on the blade. You're going to chip it a lot quicker. You're going to do a lot more heavy work with this than you will with your knife. So you have a higher chance of chipping and rolling that edge with a higher Rockwell scale. So the lower Rockwell hardness makes it easier to field sharpen, easier to resharpen, easier to maintain, and you have less of a chance of rolling this edge, right? So that's a benefit of a lower Rockwell scale on a bigger blade. The sheath is this nylon material, the plastic, I believe it's like a plastic liner. Button snap here, button snap here, button snap here. 3 button snaps. And at the back, you have a dangler attachment, which in my opinion, for a thing this size, completely useless. Okay, this is useless. So let's get into this blade. Now I'm not gonna wait till the end of the video. I'm gonna tell you right now. My opinion, okay, my opinion, this is an epic fail. A failure in every sense of the word. I'm from the Caribbean. I was born and raised in the Caribbean. Spent my whole life playing with knives and machetes. Okay, grew up with them. Now, growing up using machetes, knives, even as younger, when I'm younger, we try to make our own knives. So, knowing a thing or two about it, I know what to expect from a quality machete. I've learned to know what to expect from a quality machete. The thickness, I was fine with. It's a bit on the thin side, but I understand with a bolo style like this, that's going to add a lot of weight. So the thickness I was good with. The recurve, I was great with. I like recurves because they slice amazing. They're great at cutting tasks. So this, designed to be a cutter, chopper, can do a phenomenal job. You have excellent belly right here, which is going to chop amazing. This thing is going to bite deep. Okay? This thing is going to clamp down harder than a Kardashian on a full wallet. But what makes this a failure in my book is this TPR, thermoplastic rubber. Rubber handles, I'm fine with. Full tang design, I'm fine with. What I don't like, this texturing. It's not enough of it. Okay, deeper texturing will wick moisture away from your hands. When you're using a rubber molded handle, okay? Especially a machete with this much weight. You're going to be swinging, your hands are going to get slippery. It's going to cause some blisters. Now let's look past that. Okay, wear gloves. All right. Secondly, look at the size of that palm swell. Also, note the location of the palm swell. The palm swell is far down the handle. Okay, they call it palm swell because it's designed to fit your palm. But when you put this palm swell where it's supposed to be, this finger is riding on this peak right here. Creates a lot of hot spots. This finger is pushed right up against that guard. Super uncomfortable to hold in your hands. The only comfortable position this thing has is a rear grip position as such. Okay? All the way back. Choked all the way back here. 1, 2, 3. This finger sits in this groove. When you put your thumb over like this to clasp it, this is a safe position to use a machete. Okay? You want a full grip. You run into another problem. This palm swell right here runs into the inside of your thumb, fatigues your hand. You can't hold on to it. Okay, so they rectified it somewhat. They put this ramp here so your hand sits as such, right? This is not a safe way to use a machete. This is not safe. This is very, very, very dangerous. With a machete with weight, you want a tight grip. You want a full grip. You want to be able to hold this in your hands. And this, I'm sorry, this, in my opinion, is a band-aid solution to an extremely poor design. This is a horrible design. What would have made this better? Relocate this palm swell to here, where it's supposed to be. Get rid of this ridiculous peak, this notch here. Don't mind the notch. What you could have done was take the belly down and create more of a subtle belly from this well to this well here. A nice subtle belly. That would have given you a better grip. To get a comfortable grip, to choke up on this, to use it safely, you have to choke all the way up here. After a while, this finger is going to blister because of this. And I don't know about you, but most people use a machete in the summertime. And I'm not going to want to have to grab my gloves every time I need to use this. The handle design, in my opinion, completely negates everything here. Everything great about this blade is ruined because of this ridiculous handle. Now, some people are going to say, no, it's really comfortable. Yeah, well, some people also love some really crappy cars that nobody can stand. I know some people that love the Chevette. Doesn't make it a great sports car. But this, in my opinion, is bar none. Okay? And I know some people might say I'm being a little bit too harsh judging this blade. Okay, I'm speaking from basically 40 years of experience. I swear I was born with a knife in my hand. I'm the only guy I know that sharpened his butter knife and shaved with it. I know a thing or two about knives. I know what to look for in a quality blade. And I don't mind spending money on quality. But sometimes there's a lot of people out there that want a budget-friendly option. Like I always say, price does not always equate to quality. Something expensive might not be the best. Something inexpensive, might not be cheap. Okay? This is one of those cases where you could charge $20 for this, and I still wouldn't recommend anyone buying this. This knife, in my opinion, it's a 2. Don't care how great the steel is. Don't care how phenomenal the edge beveling is. Don't care how great the machining is. If you can't hold on to it and use it comfortably, it's useless. This is basically a $45 paperweight. On top of that, pardon me, I need a drink. On top of that, they decided to include the world's most complicated and ridiculous sheath known to man. Why do I say that? Okay, let's show you. This is the sheath. First of all, this ridiculous dangler. I'm sorry, this is way too big. Look at the size of this thing. This is way too big to be used as a dangler, okay? This is ridiculous. Secondly, if you're gonna give me a dangler, you put 3 million snaps on this thing and you give me a Velcro dangler? Really? Okay. Let's get past the dangler. You don't have to use it as a dangler. No, you can slide it through this webbing here. Slide it through the webbing. Close it off, and now you can use this as a belt loop. Okay? Which is not too bad. But it's Velcro. If you live in cold climates, damp climates, you use this a lot, that Velcro is going to go. You're going to have to replace this, or you're going to have to fix it. Include a snap. Secondly, I understand you have a lot of belly to this blade, especially with this bolo style, that big sweeping belly, but you do not need a fully open side to insert this blade. This could have been stitched to about here with one snap, allowing it to easily be placed in and taken out of the sheath. Let me show you. With this snap on, I can easily take it out, easily slide it in. This is not necessary. This whole taco shell design thing, absolutely not necessary. Here's another part of this I cannot stand. This fastener. You buy this. I guarantee you when you get it home, you're going to fight with this. Why? Because there's a particular way of closing this. You don't close this first. No, 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 no. You have to pull this hard over, snap it down to here, which it barely makes contact with, by the way. And then you can secure this. That's the only way to close this. Otherwise, you're fighting. You're fighting to close this. And one little touch pops right off. And I didn't push that hard. Okay? One little touch and this pops off. This is not making contact, barely making contact with anything. It's right there on the edge. Now, you designed a sheath. Just a suggestion. See, why not put the snap here, wrap around right here, and snap right in the middle? That makes more sense to me. I don't have to fight with this ridiculous thing. But what do I know? So you have a sheath that you have to go through an entire procedure to close. Barely holds it properly. This thing, one little push, and it pops right off. Okay? So the security of the sheath is ridiculous. This dangler, let me show you what I mean about this dangler. A dangler, ideally, in a blade this big, should not extend way beyond the handle, okay? I would say a dangler to about there is good. It's not too far beyond the actual handle. This will be comfortable on a belt. This is ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Then you try to make up for it by giving us paracord. Okay, I got paracord. What am I going to do with it? The price point for this, I mean, look at this. I just shook that around, right? That came out. Shaking this. Imagine this on your belt. Okay? 1.4 ounces is not something you want to keep on your belt. That's a lot of weight. That is a lot of dead weight. So in my personal opinion, that package, and I'm being generous, okay? I am being generous with the score I give it, is a 2. And that's being generous. I've used 65MN and I haven't had any issues. Yes, it's a low carbon steel. It's a machete. Don't mind. Edge retention is good. But this is not a blade you can use comfortably and safely. This, in my opinion, is a safety hazard. That handle completely ruins this blade. You have great lines, you have a beautiful design blade, and you have the worst handle ever designed. I would rather you stick some cheap wooden slabs on this thing instead of this. So, to all my viewers out there, subscribers, anyone who watches this video, if you are considering getting the Crkt Half a Chance or Chance in Hell, second guess it. You can pick this up for about $45, if not less. In my opinion, that's $45 wasted. Do not buy this. Absolutely positively, do not buy this. You're gonna regret it. So, until next time, guys, I'm Teddy. You're watching Blade and Simple.